when I really wanted to dive into this piece, I wanted to play it very fast, very quickly. I just heard it like really quickly, right? And there's a few players who really get there, you know, like and I just wanted to push the tempo, not because I just like I want to play it super fast, you know. No, I hear it this way, you know.
Yeah.
It's just I hear it this way. So I've tried many years to just play it and get it up to speed, and I really just kind of couldn't. So the fingerings were always in the way, really,
Mm.
always in the way of that. So I used to play with those regular fingerings. I would say regular just because it's a Stover edition that most people play, you know. And I really just I had this thing that just I was like going against. I just could not get to the speed, and I recorded it a couple times with those fingerings of that first half. And I wasn't quite aware of the things I was doing until I recorded and I started listening really closely. You know, I was missing notes in this passage in particular. So here, if I really wanted to push the speed. You don't hear the last note before the shift. It's not quite apparent because there's a like, and
Yeah.
that's fine. I guess, live I wouldn't really, but like I was paying attention really closely, and those notes were not quite there. Also, the shift, like is a little bit scratchy, which I'm not that obsessed with scratches. I Yeah, sorry in
Yeah.
advance for all those of you guys who are really obsessed about it. I don't quite care
we,
so
we,
much. I
we're,
mean,
we're not we're not scratch no scratch base. We're tone base.
yeah, no scratch on base. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm sorry. I can live with them. But anyways, this fingering just couldn't cut it. It just didn't go. So I had to find another way. And as you said, Martin, it's something like a chess game, which is like you have a problem and you need to overcome the problem. You will not have a problem if your musical intentions do not change. If you play with the fingerings and you play the piece the way you can with the fingerings, there is no problem. There's never ever going to be a problem because you're not putting that pressure on you to change your music. So that's why the whole introduction to this. But now I have this idea for the piece that I want to play it really quickly, right? And I need to find a way here. This is not quite working because I'm losing that note. The shift is just too fast, so I have to get rid of the shift.
Mm.
So in order to get rid of the shift, you just have to kind of like go a little bit by, like little by little, try to really get to the point where, okay, what do I do here? So you need to find ways, you need to try different things, try a lot of different things, and go a process of elimination. Okay, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. Okay, this works, and then keep going in there. So this fingering in that it's the top there, the C sharp.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's the beginning of that. Okay. So this really can't move. I guess like this, but I don't know. It's like a little bit tricky. This could work. So you just go like this, and whatever fingering you choose, you have to play it a tempo. That's really like honestly, you will waste so much time if you look at a fingering and you go like, okay, this you look. Yeah, that works at that tempo. I'm gonna
Yeah.
work on it. Then you up the speed of the metronome, and then you get to a certain speed, and you go like, actually, this is not working. You just wasted 45 minutes getting up to speed. So get up to speed right now, and you see if your fingering works. You just play it once, twice, tops. You don't practice it. You just make sure it works, and it will work. And that is happening just on a very micro level. Huh? You just play like, see, I know this will work. I don't have to practice it quite yet, but I know it's going to work, right? So if
Hmm.
that was a fingering I was going to choose, which was not the fingering, I just made that up right now. It's actually maybe that could work. Maybe. No, because you know what? The last note is with the 4, and then the first C
And
sharp is
then 4/4
with the 4.
shift. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, this would. no. So see, okay, so that doesn't work. So I basically have to be here, and this is not too bad, you know. And if you're really intense, you do this. You know, this way you're sure, like you're not letting go of the C sharp of the C before you shift. If you're intense, you know, like it's kind of double the work. So I'm not that intense. I just shift. I think a shift extremely quickly is always going to be easier than like something very intricate like this. But anyways, so I'm here, and I don't want that shift anymore. So basically, to not get that shift, I can't get the one here. I can't get the 4. I can't get the one on my D. D is right here. Don't forget your open strings. on an instrument like this, you don't hear them. They sound a little bit different. On a piece that fast, you can't sing the note with vibrato anyways, you know? Yeah. So an open string is just going to be just fine. So don't feel like you really have to play it close, so you can play something like this, right? I mean, the D is there. So now, you know, after the C sharp, the C is right there. There is no, like, you can't even lose that last A, so it's there. And now you look at it and you go, okay, the A is here, the G sharp is here. It's actually a D major chord. It's right there. We've played this 6 million times. Right? So that's great. It works very quickly. And then you have the 3 here. Okay, a little bit difficult. 3 on the first string and 3 here, not so good. What about the 4? I said it's an F sharp, so the 4 is no good either. No, it's not good. So I can have the 3 there. If I have the 2, maybe the 2 on the first string. But if I have it here, you can do this. So what do? And maybe you slide the 1. And then you look. Nice. Okay. Great, that works great. Look at this. And then you're back on track wherever you were, you know? So you got rid of a shift. Because you didn't like the shift, you were losing the last note, and then you get, you know, like, what if I put the 1, what if I put the 3? No, it doesn't work. Process of elimination doesn't work until you get something that works. And then you play, you practice. You don't practice, but you just play it quickly. Okay, it works. This is it, you know. If you can play this quickly, right there, it's like a very, very short thing. If you need speed to build up speed in your playing and you can't get this, obviously you need technical work to get there. This is why I was saying technical work. But if you have the speed that you need to play that piece quickly, you should be able to play it without practicing it. If it's a very short excerpt, you know, just like this, you shouldn't have to really go and practice it. You practice, you know, to play through a whole phrase, but this you should be able to do it without practicing too much. Short-term memory, it stays there. If you know it's there, you know it's going to be fine. Then you just write it down and then you'll practice it the way you normally practice later on. Slowly, with good sound, with, you know, like all the nice things, basically, right? But this is how you get there. Okay, so we can jump a little bit.
I just wanted to say, like, from my perspective, how valuable that was, because we seldom see the process of finding fingering, you know, and you describe this like fully, because sometimes we get presented with fingerings, with solutions from our teachers, for example, or we try to somehow make them our own way, but that again can limit, is based on the access that you have. And now seeing someone who has who has access to a lot of tools, you know, like you, seeing that the thought process is not about finding the most complicated one, you know, it's just asking yourself the right questions, which is, where do I want to go? Like, where do I want to go, and what is in the way? And you want to go very fast, and you knew that the shift and the last note, they were kind of in the way, and then you were building around that, of course, based on the score, because we don't want to change the notes, you know, which is something sometimes might be like sometimes something that you would need to do, you know, but in that case we don't need to. But in that case, we were like you were finding a solution which is the next logical step, and finding that next logical step, in that case, it was the open D string, it was the
Yeah.
thing that was by the ex negativo process. It was what led us to the way. Okay, it's the only way, and which I find always so exhilarating. This epiphanic. Epiphany, is it a word? I don't know. These moments of epiphany, where you find it. Oh, it's D major chord. Why don't I just play in the D major chord? And this thing with a 2-1 slide. This is something where I would say, okay, this is very personal and this is very innovative, because this is something that you would not see in a regular score, which is noted in that speed, because
Exactly. And that's why I was telling you, beforehand, like when I did things, I write fingerings like this, and if I show you, it really works. It really works very well. But it looks like there was a mistake here for sure,